Let's say, hypothetically, that you're one of the many Netflix subscribers who flocked to the streamer at the beginning of the month when Transformers 2007 arrived. You watched the first movie from the Michael Bay-created franchise and were like, wow, I need me some more of those shape-shifting robot things. So you look at what else the platform has to offer and realize that not only is the initial installment available, but so are the next three. What a time to be alive! Well, we're here to rain on your parade because time is running out on those follow-up films. Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, Transformers, Dark of the Moon, and Transformers, Age of Extinction are all set to roll out on December 31st. Luckily, we're telling you now, so there's still plenty of time for your decade-late Transformers watch party. To start at the very basics, the first live-action Transformers movie arrived in cinemas in 2007. The Bay-helmed feature saw Shia LaBeouf in the leading role as Sam Witwicky, a teenager who finds himself unwillingly entangled in an intergalactic battle between a good group of alien robot shapeshifters known as the Autobots and their nemesis, the villainous Decepticons. The first film proved to be a box office hit, so naturally a second one would roll out 2 years later. Essentially, what you need to know about the collection of movies now streaming on Netflix is that it's an ongoing battle between the two factions. It's also largely the same cast except that by film 4 Age of Extinction, LaBeouf had clearly had his fill of the action-packed franchise, leaving room for Mark Wahlberg to tango with the bots. When that first live-action movie landed on screens in 2007, audiences were stoked. So many who grew up with the original animated series of the 80s were beyond excited to see the Hasbro and Takara toys take on an entirely new life on the big screen. But just because you can do something doesn't mean that it needs to be done, and that's something the folks behind Transformers have slowly but surely been learning over the last 15+ years. Not only is there a clear box office slowdown as the titles trudge along, but the same can be said for the critical response. On Rotten Tomatoes, out of the 4 films currently available on Netflix, the OG is ranked the highest at 57%, with the third installment, Dark of the Moon, taking second place with a 35% critics' approval rating. Then comes Revenge of the Fallen with 19% and Age of Extinction at 18%. Essentially, if you're looking for a gripping story, this might not be your franchise. But if you need to turn your brain off and escape the never-ending holiday cycle of content, Transformers 1 through 4 are your best friends. Head over to Netflix now to see the start of a money-making franchise before Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, and Age of Extinction roll out on December 31st.